Cambodia is building a canal that could change how goods move in Southeast Asia. It's called the Funan Techo Canal, and it's one of the most ambitious infrastructure projects in the country's history. Stretching 151.6 kilometers from the branch of Mekong River near Phnom Penh to the Gulf of Thailand, this $1.2 billion project aims to create a direct shipping route that bypasses Vietnam entirely. Supported by China and aligned with Beijing's Belt and Road Initiative, the canal is not just a construction project. It's a statement about trade independence, economic ambition, and regional influence. Plans for the Funan Techo Canal began years ago, with Cambodia seeking alternative to Vietnamese ports, which currently handle much of its exports and imports. The groundbreaking took place in 2014, but momentum stalled. In April 2025, the project was revived and reinforced during a state visit by Chinese President Xi Jinping. Under the new agreement, Chinese investors hold 49% of the project, with Cambodia maintaining a majority stake at 51%. The expected benefits are substantial. Cambodia stands to gain greater control over its trade routes, reduce shipping costs, and attract investments into its emerging industrial zones. The canal could create up to 50,000 jobs and boost domestic transportation infrastructure. For China, the canal fits neatly into its Belt and Road Initiative, a long-term strategy to build influence through overseas infrastructure. While the promise is clear, so are the risks. Environmental experts have raised alarm about the canal's potential to disrupt the delicate flow of Mekong River, a vital water source for more than 60 million people across multiple countries. Vietnam, in particular, has expressed concern that the canal could damage the Mekong Delta, one of the world's most productive rice-growing regions, already under pressure from climate change and upstream dams. Cambodia insists it has addressed those concerns. Officials point to an environmental impact assessment which found minimal ecological damage. They emphasize that the canal's route avoids dense communities and cultural heritage sites, and that the government is prioritizing sustainable construction practices. Still, critics remain unconvinced, noting that even small changes in river flow can have far-reaching effects. Beyond the environmental debates, the canal raises questions about regional influence. By partnering with China, Cambodia gains a powerful backer, but also draws itself deeper into Beijing's sphere of influence. Vietnam, which has its own complex relationship with China, sees the project as a strategic loss, one that could shift the balance of trade in mainland Southeast Asia. This tension is not new. For years, China has invested heavily in Southeast Asia's infrastructure, from railways in Laos to ports in Sri Lanka. The Funan Techo Canal adds another link in this growing chain. While Cambodia stands to benefit economically, some analysts warn that over-reliance on Chinese financing and construction expertise may come with long-term strings attached. Domestically, the project also exposes Cambodia's economic strategy. By aiming to become a logistic hub, the country hopes to diversify its economy beyond agriculture and garment exports. The canal, if successful, could attract manufacturing and trade businesses, raising GDP and creating employment. The government sees this as a step toward modernizing Cambodia's economy and increasing its bargaining power on the global stage. On the international front, the project's timing is significant. With global supply chains being re-evaluated post-pandemic and regional powers like China and India competing for influence, Cambodia is making a calculated bet. If the canal boosts trade while avoiding environmental and political fallout, it could become a model for other developing nations seeking infrastructure upgrades with foreign help. Still, the canal's long-term success will depend on execution. Can Cambodia manage the environmental and political risk? Will the promised economic benefits materialize, and how will neighboring countries react as the project moves forward? As of now, the project is back on track. Heavy machinery is poised to resume work, contracts have been reaffirmed, and investment flows are being mapped. In time, ships may travel this new corridor to the sea, carrying not just goods but the weight of regional ambition. Cambodia's partnership with China follows a familiar pattern in modern development strategy: leverage foreign capital to unlock domestic opportunity. The build, operate, transfer model ensures Cambodian ownership after a period of operation, but it also means years of foreign control in the interim. That's a trade-off the government believes is worth it. For China, this is another notch in its Belt and Road initiative. It strengthens ties with loyal partner and reinforces China's maritime strategy in the Indo-Pacific. The canal sits near key regional shipping lanes, allowing China to project economic and strategic presence without military confrontation. Vietnam, however, is not likely to accept this quietly. The canal threatens its role as the dominant transit point for Cambodian trade. It also raises questions about the upstream water rights and how regional infrastructure can be used to bypass neighbors entirely. With historical tensions between Vietnam and China already simmering, the canal could introduce a new source of friction. For the region, this project brings opportunity and anxiety in equal measure. Smaller Southeast Asian nations are watching to see how Cambodia manages this high-stakes venture. If it succeeds, it may encourage similar deals with China or other large powers. If it stumbles, it could reinforce fears about dependency, debt, and ecological fallout. The Funan Techo Canal is more than a waterway. It's a symbol of shifting alliances, evolving trade routes, and the complex reality of 21st century infrastructure politics. Its construction will carve more than just a path through Cambodian soil. It may redefine the flow of power and profit across Southeast Asia. With construction expected to ramp up in late 2025, attention will remain focused on project's execution. International observers will watch for transparency, sustainability, and measurable benefits. For Cambodia, this is a generational opportunity. For China, it's another milestone in a grand strategy. For the rest of the region, it's a signal that the map is changing and the currents are moving in new directions. How this canal shapes the future will depend on more than just concrete and water. It will depend on diplomacy, management, and the ability to navigate both opportunity and risk. Cambodia may be digging a canal, but what it's really trying to do is open a new chapter in its national story.